YouTube, how's it going? Frogs Angels is back. We got some NBA content, news and rumors. NBA draft is on its way. Free agency is on its way. Uh, Let me be honest. Shit's heating up.
Yeah.
It's heating up.
Yeah.
Before we get into the rumors,
Quick little side note.
click the subscribe button if you haven't already. Our goal is 10,000 subscribers. We much appreciate it if you help us out. Anybody who already subscribes to the channel, welcome back. Thank you very much. Let's get into it. First one I want to talk about, Sixers. The Sixers are offering a package of picks. You have to assume it's 10 and 26. They hold 2 first-round picks plus players. The players are rumored to be Dario Saric and Robert Covington. Is it going to be both the players? Is it going to be separate? But they want to move up. They really want a top 5 pick. I mean, they picked 10. So, I mean, if you're going to move up, who do they want? That's the big question. What are they missing in their lineup? Another question. I think that's a pretty complete team. If Fultz is playing, what position is Simmons playing? You know, he wants to take up the ball, but I mean, getting rid of Saric and Covington tells me they want like a similar position guy.
Yeah, you're getting rid of a lot of shooting there.
Getting rid of a lot of shooting.
Yep.
J.J. Redick's a free agent, so they're gonna get a shooter. They got to get a shooter. It's got to be a shooting guard or a small forward. Michael Porter maybe.
Ooh.
You like that? Doncic. I think maybe they would rather have Doncic. I think that's a Sixer guy.
Mm-hmm.
But so very interesting that they want to move up. It's pretty obvious. What would you give up? Like obviously, I mean, would you trade 10, 26, Dario Saric and Covington for the 5th pick? I will say 4th pick. I think for the Grizzlies is a hot spot.
That's
a lot to give
that's
up.
a lot. I'm sorry, I don't think I do it.
What's making you not do it? Is it a player? Or is it?
I think
for me, I think it's only you already have pick 10.
Yeah.
Only moving up like 6 spots.
Yeah.
So is it necessary to give up a Robert Covington or the 26th pick?
I
understand
they can somehow keep that 26th pick.
Yeah.
And they can package some players in that pick 10 to move up.
I know what I know is I don't think they can keep. Obviously, they wouldn't be able to keep 10, and that would have to be involved. And then Dario Saric, I think, has to be appealing to other people. I think they would want him.
He's good.
I think they would want him. So that's very interesting. Who do they want? Like I said, I think it's got to be shooting. Could be Michael Porter Jr. We will see. What if they're already doubting Fultz? What if it's Trae Young?
Ooh.
They can get a point. I don't think it is because I think they can get a point guard at 10.
What if Fultz is trade bait?
What if?
Wow.
What if?
My brain.
I like Fultz. He's gotta stay healthy. But on to the next rumor. The Wizards, they want to dump a player with a big contract like Gortat. Could possibly be Markieff Morris, but I think it's more likely Gortat. They're willing to part with the 15th overall pick to dump that cap space, to dump that contract. Yeah, that from what I heard. We don't know if that's 100% true.
This rumor.
We've seen the same thing with the Grizzlies. They're trying to get rid of Parsons in the 4th pick just to dump that pick. It's hard to believe. Why would you give up a pick, even 15 in a pretty good draft class? Just give it away. It's hard to believe. It's hard to believe, but I mean,
wow.
Gortat hasn't been helping them. Obviously, they have a very good point guard and shooting guard, but they need a big man. I mean, Otto Porter plays pretty good at small forward as well, but so they need a good big man. They haven't really had it, but is it the answer getting rid of a big man and getting rid of Future or the 15th pick, who could be a big man right now?
I think that kind of just says a lot about what they have planned for free agency.
Yeah, it could mean they're gonna bring in some. What if they just brought in LeBron James?
Ooh.
The Wizards have not been mentioned in that. What if they cut some space, brought in? It's just something I'm thinking of now. They just bring in LeBron with Beal and Wall.
Ooh. Ooh. Ooh.
It's tough. It's tough in the NBA because the draft's first. Kind of gotta guess who you can land, what guys you can get back, who you're not going to be able to get back going forward. It's tough, but I don't know if I like this move. I don't like, especially in the Grizzlies. We talked about the Grizzlies in the first video of one of these, but I would not just give up the 4th pick just to dump a contract. That 4th pick is very valuable, but I don't know if it's that simple. I think they got to be getting something in return, but we will see. We'll see what the Wizards decide to do. NBA draft is going to be exciting. I just want to know how many current NBA players are involved in these trades. Like most of the times, you don't really see that. It's mostly just picks, but we saw Jimmy Butler last year. Are we going to see players like Gortat, Chandler Parsons, a lot of different players. Maybe Kawhi Leonard. We'll talk about him in a little bit. It's going to be interesting. Another team looking to trade is the Toronto Raptors. They do not have a pick, and they want to trade into the first round.
Kyle Lowry.
So, yeah, is Kyle Lowry up for trade?
Or DeRozan.
DeRozan. They've said that there isn't a player on their roster that can't be touched. But basically, any player can be traded for on their roster is what they said. And another thing that I've seen is that they're very interested in a couple of the point guards in the draft. They have pretty high interest in all of them, but one name that's standing out that I've seen multiple times is Shai Gilgeous-Alexander, the Kentucky point guard, a 6'6" point guard. So that would bring us back to Lowry. You can't be that interested in a point guard.
Didn't they just re-sign him last year?
Yeah. I mean, big contract. I mean, he didn't play. He played good. He's played good.
He's not bad. It's the team. Yeah. Like the team. It's who they're putting around him.
I mean, DeRozan can play. Obviously, playoff performance wasn't that good, but they need some big men. But you would think if they're that high on a point guard, that Lowry's got to be up for
one of the two. One of the two have to be. They have to be taking calls or giving calls on one of those two guys.
I mean, they don't have a pick at all, and they want to move up in the first round. They're looking at the 10 range, top 10 range. You're gonna have to give up a lot.
Jeez. I
mean, somebody's got the value. I think DeRozan alone would do it, but I don't think you want to trade DeRozan, honestly. But they said they would. But Lowry, somebody's got to value Lowry pretty high, I think. It's a matter of what's more important to you, well, right now or the future. And I think for a lot of these teams' cases, more teams in the NBA, most of the teams in the NBA, the future's got to be more important, more valuable. Because who's going to win? You're not going to beat the Warriors. You're not going to beat the Rockets right now. So there's no point to giving up future to go for it right now. So it's going to be interesting to see if a player like Kyle Lowry is traded, if the Raptors make a big move to get up there. I can't wait. Can't wait.
See you in Pittsburgh.
No, it's not where it's at.
Okay.
Bart Scott.
Sorry.
The Magic. Magic are very high on 2 point guards. Trae Young. Well, really, I heard they're high on the 3 point guards. But right now, it could be smoke. They're deciding between Trae Young and Colin Sexton. Obviously, the Oklahoma and the Alabama point guard, top 2 point guards in the draft, in most people's opinion. They're kind of split in the front office. They can't decide which one they like better. And I don't know if that's smoke. Maybe they don't want either one. Maybe they're looking at a Michael Porter, a guy like that. He's supposed to go in that range.
Can I give you some information here?
Let me get it.
I think that is smoke. I think this is smoke. I think that I think they're letting Aaron Gordon walk this free agency.
Too much money.
Too much money. That he doesn't deserve the kind of money he's gonna get paid. So I can see them taking a small forward here, like you said, a Michael Porter Jr. That's what they need. That's what they need, and I think that's a bigger need than like one of these point guards. I think that there's more upside in Michael Porter Jr. than one of these guys.
That could be true, but how important a point guard position is, that's also comes into play there. I kind of hope it's smoke because I hope this is not true really, because you should know which one you like better right now, because they're pretty even.
And they shouldn't leak out.
Yeah, I would think it's smoke, but they are looking for the future point guard. They don't really have one. I mean, it's a shame that they traded Oladipo away. They definitely lost that deal, and they wanted Alfred Payton to be their guy of the future. He didn't end up being good. They traded him for a second rounder. Looks pretty messy over there. Yeah. So can they hit on a point guard finally?
Do they even sign Biombo? Like, what are you doing?
Do they even take a point guard? They gotta do well in this draft. I mean, obviously everybody does, but it's been a rough few years, more than a few years for the Magic. So we'll get on to some big names now.
Ooh.
LeBron James.
I
mean, last time we talked about LeBron James in this video, he had more logos next to his name because those teams were linked to him. Those teams are still linked to him. But recently, the Cavs and the Rockets are two teams I want to talk about, because the Cavs, they obviously, I mean, this isn't anything new. They want to keep him, but what they're doing now is they're trying to trade, which we'll talk about who they're trying to trade for in a little bit here, but they're trying to trade for other talent to bring in next to LeBron James to keep him, just so it's appealing for him to stay. Is the 8th overall pick in the draft up for trade? If they're trying to get these guys, you got to think it is. And the Rockets, there's been recent rumors that really nothing new as well, but it just keeps on leaking that Chris Paul is really recruiting LeBron James to come there. He's doing it more than ever. So, I mean, that's got to be true, and Chris Paul's came out and said it. But what I want to talk about here, is it possible for LeBron, Chris Paul to both get, because remember, Chris Paul's a free agent too. Is it possible for them to both get big deals on the Rockets with James Harden already on a max deal on the Rockets?
I think that it's going to take them, like, losing Capella, which I think is a huge loss to the Rockets.
I agree.
Huge loss.
Young, very talented, getting better and better.
He's going to get max money, deserves max money.
Would you, I mean, it's tough. Would you rather have Capella or LeBron? It's actually, that sounds funny. It sounds really weird, but it's actually a debate.
But I think that,
not saying LeBron is going to help you way more in winning a championship right now. LeBron's a way better player right now, but losing Capella is giving up so much future to me. I'm a huge fan of his game.
Yeah, and his playoffs.
Yeah, he was so dominant. Their mistake, they would have beat the Warriors, I think, if they kept going to him. They just stopped going on. They were chucking up. As soon as they saw the Warriors hitting threes, they started panicking, and they were chucking up stupid threes. They were still winning at that point. I mean, that's a different discussion. But Capella was their best player in that last game, Game 7. They should have kept going to him. And we could see how dominant he can be. We could see he can get better. And the shortage on big men, too, that can play down low is just ridiculous. So you got to get Capella back. I don't know if you can get LeBron James.
And it's not even a guarantee if you get LeBron, you beat the Warriors. Like, you get LeBron, lose Capella, Ariza's gone, and you have to bring in somebody. You got to bring in some people. And so it's like Chris Paul, Harden, and LeBron with no Capella, with no Ariza. I don't think you beat the Warriors in a series.
It's tough.
Chris Paul can't stay healthy.
He's getting up there in age, too. Does he really want, like, how much money is Chris Paul going to get? It depends on if these guys...
Rumor?
I don't know.
He said he wants max money, which makes no sense if you're recruiting LeBron.
Yeah,
you're not going to get it.
It's not making sense to me. It's not making sense.
Yeah.
But back to the Cavs trying to trade for more talent to bring LeBron back. Kemba Walker. They're talking to the Hornets about trading for Kemba Walker. That is very interesting. And I also see that the Hornets are making Kemba Walker available to other teams as well, which is surprising because he's definitely their best player. But their view is we can't win now.
Yeah.
We got to gain picks. We got to plan for the future. But let's say Kemba gets traded to the Cavs. Do you think LeBron comes back then?
No.
You still don't think so?
No. I think that this is a thing that's kind of stupid with this draft here being first. The Cavs can go and trade for whoever, like, say Kemba and somebody else. LeBron could just go.
And you're still not good enough to win. Even though it looks pretty good, you're still not good enough to win. And you'd rather have that 8th pick. You could trade that 8th pick away, and you'd rather have that. Because if they don't get LeBron back, they should start rebuilding now. They should be one of the worst teams. They should tank on purpose, basically, is what I'm saying.
Yeah. Here's the hot take.
Let's hear it.
Is Michael Jordan going to trade someone to Cleveland to help LeBron?
I mean, if it helps him, I think he doesn't care.
You don't think he cares?
If he gets that 8th pick, yeah. What is the deal for Kemba? Would it be 8th pick for Kemba Walker? That
should be more than that.
Yeah, Kemba Walker just legit point guard. Hasn't really had much around him. I think he can do better if he play with LeBron James. That'd be something else.
I like Kemba's game. I really like.
So do I. Yeah. See if it actually happens. See if it's another big time player that gets traded on draft night. That'll be crazy. We've seen the Celtics back in the day, or not too long ago, but they set up their championship team on draft night, getting Ray Allen, Kevin Garnett, with Pierce obviously and Rondo. They set up that team there on the draft. Very impressive. Let's see if somebody pulls it off. Another player we talked about in the past, also linked to the Cavs, also linked to a couple more teams. Really, I could have taken the Bulls off of here. I think
the Bulls need to be off of
here. Yeah. We discussed Kawhi with all these teams minus the Cavs and the Suns before, and I've heard from Chicago writers that the Bulls had a package together to trade for him. I'm now thinking that's false. I think what they meant was they could do it.
I think it's a big could, but I don't think it's a big, they're not doing it. They would have to give up so much.
Yeah, so the Bulls could be the first team right off the board here. But We talked about the other teams, the Lakers. He wants to play for the Lakers. He wants to play in L.A., we said. So the Clippers are on here too. Lakers, Clippers, serious interest. The Sixers have serious interest. We talked about the Sixers trying to trade up in the top 5. Is that for a prospect, or is that better ammo to trade for Kawhi Leonard? Do the Spurs want a top 5 pick? That's interesting. The Knicks are always discussing any top player, free agent or trade target. People think the New York's appealing place. Is it? Maybe it is with Porzingis. They've had some rough years though. They said the Celtics. The Celtics are a team that has high interest. They try to trade for him at the deadline, but I'm surprised that they still have high interest. Their team's heading in the right direction. I don't think they need him. I honestly think Leonard's a great player, but this could mess him up a little bit because they have Gordon Hayward coming back. Jason Tatum needs to play. What's going to happen if they get Leonard in there with them? I think they're doing just fine. But then again, if you do make it to the finals, will you beat the Warriors without a Kawhi Leonard? So maybe that's the way they're looking at it.
Yeah.
I don't know if the Celtics should do this deal. Depending on what they give up, I don't think they should do it. I'm still surprised they're linked. But the two teams added, the Cavs, we talked about the Cavs are trying to trade for somebody for LeBron James, basically, whether it's Kemba, Kawhi Leonard. I don't think they can manage to get both of them. I don't think that's possible.
Yeah.
So that's why the Cavs are on here now. The Suns were rumored to possibly be wanting to trade the first overall pick for Kawhi Leonard. And the most recent news is that they would not be willing to part with the first overall pick for Kawhi Leonard. So that's very interesting to me too, because they value the player they're taking more than Kawhi Leonard, basically.
Ayton. I mean, they value.
Yeah, it's got to be DeAndre Ayton. We're pretty sure it's DeAndre Ayton. At one point, we thought Doncic was possible, but that's pretty interesting. You're viewing the number 1 overall pick. You're valuing him more than Kawhi Leonard. Pretty interesting because he is a top player. I mean, he does come with some injury concerns, but I don't want to give anything away here because we're gonna do future videos for guys like. Well, he isn't a free agent though, so I guess we could do it here. What team on this list do you think he goes to, including the Spurs? The Spurs are in no hurry to trade him.
I got this narrowed down to 3 teams.
3 teams?
3. I think that obviously one, San Antonio. Maybe they don't get the deal they want. They don't have to take a deal. They don't have to settle for a deal. So they may not take any deal that they get offered. If the rumors are correct that Phoenix isn't willing to part ways with that pick, if the rumors are not true, I think Phoenix has ammunition to go after Kawhi Leonard. I think that another team here that has, again, the ammunition would be the Clippers. I think the Clippers, even the Lakers, both LA teams have a lot of ammunition in terms of draft picks and young talent.
The Clippers have the 12th and the 13th overall pick in the draft.
Right. So, and that's all because of that Blake Griffin trade. So I think that they have, both them and the Lakers have that kind of ammunition, draft picks and young talent that may kind of pique the Spurs' interest. I don't know. I think that if the Spurs are willing to get rid of them, I think you need to throw in some good young first-round talent into that locker room. I don't know. I think we're going to see Kawhi traded this offseason.
During the draft or after the draft?
I think we're going to see it after the draft. Okay.
Yeah, I would put, if I had to pick 3 teams, it would be the Spurs and the 2 LA teams. I think the Clippers have pretty good ammunition there to trade from, like you said. This sounds like the Celtics have very strong interest. It's just tough for me to put them in there because it's a tough decision. You can screw yourself with this decision because you got a team right now. Let me tell you, they got a team. And then I'm starting to think, we talked about the Sixers moving up. I said it before. They're trying to move up to 5. Is that for a player or is it for Kawhi Leonard? It could be for Kawhi Leonard.
Yeah.
But again, they could use 10, 26, Dario Saric and Covington. Is that enough to trade for Kawhi Leonard?
Not a chance.
Probably not.
Not a chance.
Probably not. But if they manage to hold on to pick 26 and Dario Saric and they have the 5th pick, is those 3 things enough for Kawhi Leonard? 5, 26, and Dario Saric.
I'm going to say no.
Or maybe 4.
I think
26.
I would take Covington and those 2 picks. I think Covington is a better player than Saric.
Really?
Really.
I think maybe right now, but I think Saric still has improvement.
He's young, has potential, yeah.
So, yeah, that's Kawhi Leonard is It's kind of weird that LeBron James maybe isn't the most. I mean, still to some people is probably the hottest topic, but lately I think it's Kawhi Leonard. Very interesting offseason we got.
Going back to Boston real quick, do you think Danny Ainge is gonna go throw himself in a hole just like how he basically got that deal from Brooklyn? You think he's gonna go do the same thing to his own team, like go after win now talent and screw your future? I don't think.
It sounds like they have like heavy interest, but I don't think it actually happens.
What do they have to get rid of? Jaylen Brown's got to be in it.
He should be part of it. I wouldn't do it.
Yeah, they're gonna have to give up way too much.
It might affect Tatum too.
Yeah?
Like this kid needs to play. He needs to start. He needs to play as many minutes as he can. And they have Gordon Hayward. Don't trade for Leonard. I don't think they should do it.
No. That's all I got.
That's all I got too.
That's all I got.
NBA draft is coming Thursday. Can't wait for the madness. Really, if there's no madness, it's still a great time. But there's gonna be.
It's always a great time.
It's always a great time. Can't wait. We got plenty of NFL and NBA content on the channel already. More to come. So stay tuned for any of that. If you haven't clicked the subscribe button yet, please do so. 10K subscribers is our goal. Help us get there. It'll be much appreciated. But that'll do it for this one. Goodbye.